Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. So, all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. First things first, hopefully everybody's having a blessed and productive Wednesday. For everybody else, happy hump day. Hopefully all of y'all are having a blessed and productive morning. Hopefully, y'all keeping yourselves cool. For those in them areas where it's still heat wave activity, make sure you're keeping yourself cool if possible. Um, and again, if you don't got to be out, keep yourself indoors and try to keep yourself preserved as possible. Yes, I stress that same tactic every day because, again, your health is more important than anything. Appreciate everybody who tuned in yesterday morning for the live stream, and definitely appreciate everybody who tuned in last night for the conversation at hand. If you missed it, you can catch the replay. But I wasn't far off neither about what I was speaking about. You know, and like I said, that's gonna definitely be a part two. Um, somebody had some of y'all have really, you lost your way of thinking. You lost your training of thought. Hence why you are making the most rash and impulsive decisions. You know, whatever you might have been going through or whatever has gotten you to that point of thinking, you got to eliminate that. Game of death, what's going on, my guy? You got to eliminate that because a lot of times there ain't nothing but the enemy right there speaking in your mind and wishing the wrong things into fruition. Again, you're going to have to bring back some sort of moral fabric, because again, it goes hand in hand, especially if you building within your community or you trying to build something within a community. Morals and standards are going to have to go hand in hand regardless of what. And also, the time is ticking for a lot of y'all to really get it together again. Yes, I'm going to repeat this again because I got a feeling I already know who's laying in the shadows as always. But again, your time is ticking. You know, if you claiming that your life is that much in order, you know, you shouldn't be focusing on all the distractions. See, real people who got their stuff in order, they're not focused on distractions. They're not even really caring about the distractions because they see past the underlying circumstances. Craig, what's going on? Angel, what's going on, baby? Again, you don't let any type of negative vibes or negative anything kill your push. If you pushing to be greater and more successful, your time is ticking. And your time will be ticking if you're not focused. You're wasting time and energy going back and forth, or you're wasting time and energy absolutely adding nothing constructive to your life. I'm repeating myself again because apparently I'm a one trick pony. So I'm gonna show the one trick pony how to really one trick pony. But bat it in your head every day until you get it. I don't care if I gotta say it to you in English, hablo español, hablo chino, whatever. But you're gonna learn today that there are just some people that are gonna stand on what they stand on. And their time is moving slowly because they're doing things the right way. Your time is ticking because you rushing for a downfall. Won't be me though. Rachel, what's going on, baby? And I feel last night's conversation, and I told somebody else behind the scenes, don't matter if the people hit the panel or not. When they do hit the panel, Just know it's going to be just as much knowledge being spewed out. Anything. Again, because time is ticking for some of us. Some of us want to see better, and we definitely want to feel freer to do the things that we need to do and want to do. See, some people will say their time went by too quickly, right? But you know why your time went by quickly? Sometimes your time will go quickly if you're doing absolutely nothing, not getting up, not being beneficial, not trying to work, do anything of the sort, build on any aspect of life. Yeah, your time won't be wasted. When you really realize how long you've been wasting, some of the things you're going to want to do is going to be too late. And it's not going to be too late in the sense of learning. You're just going to be too late to do it if you thought you was going to be actually able to do it. With certain fields of expertise, yes, you do have somewhat of a shelf life. So if you ain't doing, unless you really still physically fit and active to do certain things, there's certain things that you get into, you're not going to be able to look. You got a small time frame, a small window. So while you got that small time frame, especially when you're in your prime, do what's necessary. You get things while you in your prime. You can change the landscape and not just the course of history, but the course of you know your all in all happiness. Yeah, you hear the families out here. Apparently, somebody threw a bag of onion rings and they fighting over it. Oh snap! My bad, y'all. Birds having a war over onion rings. I didn't even think they eat them. But see, at least I'm outside in nature. I'm gaining, I'm growing and gaining inspiration on certain things every day. Because again, I do see certain changes happening at one point. And again, I will bring this up. Time is ticking for a lot of you, quote unquote. Um, I ain't even gonna call you what I thought I was gonna call you today. My fault, because I almost violated the YouTube guidelines, so I ain't gonna call you that today. But there's some of y'all that your time is really up. Like I said, at some point you gonna get what you put out, and it's not necessarily gonna have to be for me. But it does go to show the world, and it does go to show some people exactly what I've been talking about. Some people will go all the way out their ends and far reaches just to try to get one over on somebody or just try to demolish or tarnish anything that somebody is building. But there's just some people who are not going to run to the shadows. Because some people have. And it's sad again because y'all did that to females and not real actual dudes. And I don't see too many dudes running off this internet. I haven't seen too many women. I haven't seen too many real strong women run away from this internet shit neither. But then again, a lot of them are not doing anything out of the boundaries of just being themselves. And some people even have a problem when you being yourself. But in that same token, daytime is ticking because while they focusing all the energy on you, their life is sadly being taken away and drained away every day. You're all here to do good works regardless, no matter what them works may be. But last night definitely was a good conversation. I felt like I said what I needed to say, really, and I attest to that. A lot of y'all times are ticking because once they start seeing that you really have nothing to present or bring to this platform, they're gonna start eliminating you. And now you're gonna have to find somewhere else to go resonate and build a nest at. But then again, a lot of these platforms are gonna get tired of the same, the same old madness. You have some people who are not playing when it comes to you putting out personal information or you doing specific things along that nature. They ain't playing with you. You got some people that will really show up and 9 out of 10 try to knock your scalp piece off. So why would you put yourself even in that much of a problem or predicament? And don't try to say, "Oh, I dare somebody to come. I'm gonna be ready and prepared," because you're not even knowing who might come if that person might come. Your karma could come in a multitude of angles. It don't necessarily even got to be the person you having an issue with. Somebody could probably then got wind of something and say, "You know what? I'm gonna do this pro bono. I got you." So you better think wise and think long before you be stupid like that. You know, you have some people who are that narcissistic. They will wrong you in more than one way, and in the same token, they trying to justify anything about them being wrong, and they trying to make you look like the bad guy. Can't do it. Spiritual growth, mental growth, it does start with taking accountability and responsibility, which a lot of people ain't. A lot of people are causing their own downfalls or causing their own little situations, and they refuse to take accountability for it. They refuse to admit that, all right, you know what, I was messed up. I might have been heated. I might have did this the wrong way. I messed up. Just take accountability and responsibility for what you don't. I think once you do that, that begins the real spiritual and the mental growth. Because now you're able to say, all right, if I mess up again somewhere down the line, whether it's fully my fault or not, I know when to take my accountability on things. Like if we fell out over because of miscommunication and we both probably said some real foul things, I ain't gonna let myself even get that crazy. Because at some point it could just be that, a misunderstanding. Haley, what's going on, baby? Again, you can't let nobody instigate nothing neither. You have people that love the instigation. Because that's the only thing they really got in life to be about is instigating. Just look at them. They prove themselves every day. They gotta be in the middle of somebody's drama, even if they don't know what's going on. They gotta be a pester in somebody, especially if it's somebody they hate. You know, again, daytime is ticking. Because throughout the day, what are you doing outside of just being, an internet keyboard artist? What are you doing? And if you are doing something like you claim you're doing, then prove it. Those who know me personally, y'all already know what the hell I do and where I'm at. So that could tell you right then. And it wouldn't matter. I still be giving out work. Why? Because this was something I've been doing. Giving myself a balance. And trying to give this app a balance. Or trying to at least give the good people around here a balance. Because that's what I'm going to continue to do regardless. Now, for the one trick pony artists themselves, again, you come in here with the same words, a million different troll names. You try to attempt the porn bomb, at least in my opinion, and I laughed at it. Because again, where are we going with this? Obviously, it ain't going nowhere. I don't expect you to go nowhere, but don't expect me to go nowhere neither. And like I told somebody, if I was saying something, I wouldn't care if I was saying it in a million different languages. Until that idea is beat into the right people's heads and the numbers start coming up to where we can start really gaining this advantage on the battlefield and things we trying to take back and bring back, I'm gonna keep saying the same things over and over again. But if like some people, you don't like a repeat, why you watch it? Unless it's something interesting or something that you really like. Ah, ah. But me, I could care less about any real personal feelings or spats or any of that. I would still be up here talking about something that's needed, and that's a fact. I wouldn't care how you think about it. Oh, you hear the shouting in the background? That's Cole and them. That's Cole from Martin. He over here talking to Pam again, talking about some chicky baby, chicky baby. Yeah, you hear them? I told you they fighting over some onion rings. Somebody threw a big bag of those. I think those are the what is those the I don't even call them onion rings. They look like onion rings, but they got the hot sauce. Those are the things the little Mexicans be making. I fucks with it, but I'm like, yeah, they threw a whole big bag out. They over here going to war right now. My bad, y'all. They really going to war over here. They fighting to the very last crumb and morsel. And the sad part about it is only four of them. So imagine if it had been the whole school of them. It'd have been like 20 of them on that. Up, some more coming. Up. They smelled it. Up. Nah, that's the like they little call. I don't even call it a mating call. He just stay called. They speaking amongst they flock. Like most of us, we gonna speak amongst our flock and we gonna talk whatever we talk. And we gonna bring what we need to bring. See, I'm gonna be honest. I can tell you this in more than one different category and more than one different language. Accountability and responsibility goes a long way on all aspects of the game, even down to a relationship. I wouldn't care what kind of relationship you got. Again, it all comes down to accountability and responsibility. And if you're not taking the responsibility that's needed, you ain't gonna never grow, never gonna mature, and you're never gonna be as happy as you think you should be. That part I do believe. Prime example, some people want to be happy, but you can't say you want to be happy if you're not willing to listen. Prime example, if some of y'all was looking for somebody and you got them, it's your job to make sure you keep them by your side, especially if they're not just beneficial on one end. No, this is somebody you want to build with. Some of y'all say you love your women, or some of y'all say you love your men, but you don't hear your partners out when they telling you certain things, and especially telling you in your face. It's not like they going to anybody else and telling friends or you hearing this from somebody else. Again, I think that's the worst thing when you hear from somebody else certain situations. But you got people who will be dead up honest with you in their face, and they still will misconstrue or they miss that whole message. You gotta think. Sometimes you have to literally ask that question: what's more important? You know, me listening and trying to keep my relationship afloat, or me just allowing myself to let it crash out. You have some men who have done some things to women and it might have scarred them a different way. But I've always said not every man thinks the same, not every man moves the same. And vice versa. Some of you men have gotten your hearts hurt by women you thought you was really messing with and you thought was gonna be down with you. But then when you realize they either A for the streets or they just really really unstable or they just the wrong choice of person to even try to build with, you know, sometimes it might affect your judgment and affect your thoughts, but you're not supposed to let it. You're not supposed to because I've always felt like this. When somebody really, truly, genuinely loves you, oh, they're gonna go all the way out on their end as well to make sure that they keep you and try to keep you uplifted. Haley, I ain't messing with you. I can't catch them. They all just, oh shoot, they all done disappeared now. They done emptied that bag and now they gone. Look, now it's just the babies. Oh, the little babies are trying to get the scraps now. Oh, that's crazy. Hold on, Haley. How you want a damn bird and you ain't even? Man, hold on. Ain't you supposed to be giving me one yourself? Come on now, play with me. You stop playing for I never mind. Nah, they ain't all ran off for real. It's just the baby. Oh shoot. Damn, shots in the plug. Nah, it's just the babies. It's like three little babies. That's it. That's crazy. The grown-ups got their munch on and left the babies to fend for themselves. Look at them. But again, you gotta think about what's really important. Again, the 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 sanctity of your relationship and your mental balance and peace and your spiritual peace, or is it your reputation or is it your unwillingness to compromise that's going to be your downfall? Again, sometimes you have to be mindful on who you are really getting up with, not just relationship wise, but on any type of level. Because again, a lot of times they could present a clear and present danger that you ain't aware of. And that clear and present danger is that again, they're not going to take accountability. They're definitely not going to reason. They're not going to give you a voice of reason. And if they feel that's the best way they could get rid of whatever and get back to what they was known to do, then yeah, you're gonna get that. You got some people that really didn't want to be they really didn't want to be, you know, tangled up with people. And in the same token, still ended up getting tangled up with those same people. So a lot of times y'all can't allow people to make your movements and judgments on who you date. I believe in that part as well too. You got some people that are too toxic to be with each other, but you got people that'll sit there and say, "Oh nah, you can't allow everybody else to. I need to get back together." Why would I want to get back with somebody if me and them gonna be fighting? That's just like a prime example. Why would I want to get back with somebody if I know me and them gonna physically fight every day? Make it make sense. In that same notion, make it make sense. Why would I do that? Prime example. Why would I be with somebody if I feel like they not going to give me their all or their best effort? Why would I be with somebody if I know we going to be verbally abusive towards each other? Why would I be with somebody if I feel like I can't trust you at all? Get my drift? Some people be so hard up because they don't want to be alone. They'll make those decisions. You got those that just see in between the lines. And again, a lot of people have gone through some sort of issue where it could have changed their mind on the playing field and their perspective on things, but they didn't let it. Just because you had one bad experience, that don't mean you will allow it to affect all your major decisions in the future. This person might not have been the person for you, but you never know who the person is. You'll never know who the next person around could be. That next time around, especially if you got what you think you got, again, you just gotta watch the body language and just watch the overall signs. Jay Quill, what's going on, my guy? You already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. But you gotta see the signs. And again, that's on all levels. That's even now when it comes to making friends. You're gonna know who's really for you and who's not for you just by actions alone. It's not just words, but actions speak too. And so that goes hand in hand. Sticking to your word. Like I've seen some people literally say things and actually do things. Yo, so I'm gonna be there in like 20 minutes, bro. You is not gonna be able to get there. All right, let's see if this happens. And they actually stood on their word. Some people will try to. Yeah, that's another thing. Why would I want to be with somebody that's trying to change me, all in all, as a person? I can see them trying to compliment or benefit me one way or another, or even trying to build with me as a strong collective. But I shouldn't have to worry about changing who I am to fit something that you want. If you want a specific thing, you need to go move around the playing field until you find it. Because again, some people are not going to compromise or even change who they are, not one step of the way. And again, you might have some of them who will, because again, they'll be that hard up to do something like that. I just told somebody this recently, and I know he probably finally taking into consideration what I'm saying, because I told him, I said, you can't be that hard up for somebody that you say you love, and they ain't showing you no ounce of love. They out here doing what they doing, left and right. They making you look like a clown. I told that person, I know your damn daddy would be turning in his grave. And I'm quite sure your mama done told you some shit already. Told him, I said, bro, like, you gonna have to do something, bro. You can't continue to say you love somebody, but they out here doing you wrong, bro. Don't matter if you can prove it or not. Everybody else is basically giving you the rundown, and you ain't trying to listen to nothing. You got some people who really will. It could be a million people telling you, nah, bro, telling you this is what it is. Nah, I don't believe that. I'm going to trust my. No, no, no. If more than one person is telling you something, you better listen to it. Especially if they all are telling you the same exact thing. So again, you gotta be mindful, because even now in friendships, right? You got people that want you to move the way they move. No, I'm not going to move and be a carbon copy of you. Because prime example, if I knew you was out here trying to do something as far as now you trying to bag women, and I'm talking to the fellas, some of y'all got to be your own selves, man. Don't try to be like your friends. Don't try to be like anybody. Be yourself. Mookie, what's going on? What's going on, my guy? You know what I'm saying? People gonna want you to move the way they think you should be moving, and that's not the way the fucking shit goes. You move how you move accordingly, and you do what works and what's happy for you. Forget everybody else. Only person you should be worried about as far as making any real right movements is that man upstairs. But a lot of times you'll know when you're doing something right. You keeping yourself afloat, even when you being yourself, you know how to stand your ground and not fall for nothing and not fall to anybody. You'll tend to know what's what. My cousin just told me this the other day when I was chilling out with him before I walked through the train station. He said the same. He said, yo, son. He said, I noticed that. He said, man, he was like, you good until it's a situation that pop up and now everybody done got wrapped up. You ain't speaking to nobody. I said, because if I done already told you something and I felt it in my gut and you ain't listening to me, I don't got nothing to say. And when I do say something, just know I'm going to give you this work. I still love you, but I'm going to give you this work. That's just me. Because if I'm giving you something that I know for a fact is critical and I see it before anybody else see it, take heed to that. Like I can't call you my friend if I'm always getting you in the midst of some BS. I can't call you my friend if every time I turn around, I get messed up, get locked up, you getting locked up with me, especially over BS. Again, your real friends will speak in volumes in more than one way. Sometimes your real friends will definitely come through in the clutch. And it could be one of those moments you having that they're gonna come through in the clutch. It's almost the same thing when you're building a relationship. You gotta make sure that the person you are trying to build anything with is gonna go to bat to you. Gonna go bat for you the way you go to bat for them. And actually show you the things that you're showing them. If you want a true 50-50. If I can't come to the table with something at that time junction, it should be something with you and vice versa. If we both down, we supposed to build each other up one way or another. That's where people lost some of their humanity and their compassion at. Again, never mind all the negatives and all the people who really just are upset because they can't find what they want to find, a piece of happiness. You got to think about what's right for you. Prime example, and I'm gonna say this for some who might be in these type of relationships. If you are not getting the ample time you're supposed to be getting, and you've been the main one trying to do everything in your power to try to keep things afloat, and that person don't see it or don't realize it until it's almost too late. If you had to move on because of that, don't feel bad about it. I've always felt that some people are meant for each other. It just don't be the right time frame. Well, I can remember a couple years back, a couple people I knew was running around with each other to a degree, but one of the groups I knew for a fact, or at least one of the couples I knew, I didn't think they was ever going to get back together. And as strong as their relationship was the first time around, there were just different elements that prevented that relationship from blossoming and keeping that long standard of time. Like, I honestly believe it would have been at least 20 years for them now had they not broken up the first time around. But the first time around again, you got outside interferences. You got jealous men and jealous women that are being in the midst of everything. Oh, I know I seen you doing this, and I seen this one doing this, and even down to recording somebody. You don't know what interactions are really being done. Just because you might body hugging, you see your man hugging another woman. How you know if that's not their family? That could be their mama, aunt, cousin. That could be somebody they really rock with. That could be a good best friend of theirs. That's happy for them. Again, you got some people who messed up their own little comfortability nets because insecurities. You allowed somebody to put a poisonous thought into your mind, and you went with it. So in that same token, you done messed yourself up. A lot of times you can't just jump to conclusions. I don't care how bad you really want to, you just can't. And the reason why you can't is because again, you set yourself up for the only kill. Now, if that person was actually the person for you, you done knocked off your blessings. Why? Because you couldn't just keep your mind strong. And that's what I'm saying. If there's no exchanges of real kissing or anything flirtatious along that line, sometimes y'all really got to start reading and peeping body language. Because I can tell you right now off the rip, if I got a notion that I think two people doing something, I'll just see it and feel it. And if I see it and feel it, I already know what it is. And 9 out of 10, I'm always right about it. But if you don't see nothing that looks like it could be damning or look like it could be, oh yeah, I knew they was creeping. Then don't let that play in your mind. Again, stop letting that negative seed grow into your mind about it. You know, you have people who, again, they lost their relationships because they thinking the men's cheating and come to find out they the family members, like I said, best friends, whatever. So again, you messed up your comfortability and happiness. You know, and I'm not being funny. See, that was what it was with that couple. It wasn't their insecurities. It wasn't nothing. It was just the wrong people really trying to, you know, take away from what was actually happening. A blossom in love, like. And some of these people was mad. And right now, you know what's funny? These people that was doing the utmost, right now, where you think they at right now? They still in the same spot they was in back in the day. They miserable and unhappy. Why? Because again, it's bad enough when the world, you know, is always going to be a problem when it comes to building strong foundations on anything. Well, at least ignorance in the world. But it's even more sad, in my opinion, when it's the insecurities that fuck it up. Andrew, what's going on? That first time around, look, those same people that try to throw a wrench in it and thought they actually succeeded, they right now still in the same position they've been in. Years later, they miserable, unhappy, and have nobody. And they used up and dried up. I'm sorry to say it that way. You know, again, when you do specific things, you present certain energy, you tend to get, you tend to get what was coming back to you. Again, I've always felt if it was something that was meant to be and you're the main ones that's causing harm to it, and at some point, watch, that love is going to come back together. I've always believed that if you really love somebody, you'll let them go. And if y'all meant to be, y'all find a way to be back together. Doesn't matter what's going on in both of your lives or anything. She said, my bird's back. I'm not messing with you, Haley. You still owe me a kangaroo, so we can't talk right now. But again, you have to take into mindful consideration, if your partner is really telling you something and they're telling you that from the deepest part of their heart and the sincerity, you have to take that into consideration. You have to. Because again, you can mess up your whole possible future. And then again, sometimes it's not going to be hard to find, at least another blessing. But who wants to go through anything? I know, I'm messing with you, Haley. I know. Y'all got some animals over there. You owe me an animal and stop playing with me, son. But again, you gotta think deep, when it comes to building on any accord, even on the relationship tip again. You gotta be able to compromise and listen to what your partner is, conveying to you and vice versa. But again, if your partner is genuinely flat out telling you and not going behind your back, that's when you're supposed to definitely take that into consideration. Because you have some people that won't tell you to your face that they're unhappy, but they'll tell everybody in the world that they're unhappy. We see some of this going on here day in and day out. So, again, be mindful on what you're presenting out there. You know, if you see something that's underlying and you know it's going to be a problem, you have to assess that right then and there. Tamika, what's going on, baby? Again, what's more important? Happiness on all accounts for yourself or misery? If you want to be miserable, continue to move the way you've been moving. You'll find out when you lose a little bit of everything around you. Again, I think this is where it comes to just not just morality. It comes back to humanity and compassion again. I think that's needed again more than anything. Some relationships are crumbling because there is no love, there is no trust. There's too much outside interference, too many insecurities. Some people are bringing their old stuff into their new stuff. Not a good look. If you want to build on any level with anybody, you got to be able to not just trust people, but trust wisely. Trust wisely, move wisely, and just observe what you need to observe. You'll see it from an angle where you know how to attack it now. Okay, I see where this is going. Let me just prepare myself in case of anything. Again, if you wanna if you wanna make, careful decisions in life, make sure those decisions are beneficial. Because the one thing you're never supposed to play with, and that's on any circumstances, and that goes for men and women. You're not supposed to play with nobody's heart. You playing with somebody's heart and you wasting their time, it's like you blocking a blessing for them. They could have been moved on and found something that was beneficial and actually, you know, truly did to them. I feel no way you could tell me you happy with trying to hold somebody back from possibly finding something better. Give me 1 second, y'all. Damn, my bad, y'all. Almost burned my damn self. Almost burnt myself for real. Oh man. But again, you have some people who know they got something good and will still try to hold on to it and mess that person's life up. Why? Because they won't take accountability and responsibility for their actions. If you know you ain't trying to really be with somebody and that person is really trying to be with you, you need to be honest with them from Jump Street. And sometimes some people are going to have to listen to the voice of reason too. If somebody's already clearly showing me and telling me what they really want from me and how they want it from me, I know how to move from there. And again, it is up to a person to make a decision. When you are sitting there being selfish and you holding on to people that you know you really don't have anything for, that's a problem. And again, that's time being wasted for no reason. You can't give that person their time back. And you don't know how some people are going to react if they feel like they've wasted time. So some people are going to feel like I could have been moved on. I could have found something better. I could have probably been happy, married, all of that. But I chose my time to be with you. But again, if y'all gonna get together for the right reasons and not just the wrong reasons. Is what's going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know one or two people that they still strong together. Why? Because what started off at just was a booty call turned into something blossoming and turned into something that's grand. They married, kids, all of that. You know, and again, sometimes it be like that. You don't know how things are going to move with somebody. You know, some people go the old fashioned way and take things slow. Some people might be moving a little fast, but then the same token, if they both, have a genuine love and care for each other and they gonna be truthful with each other, guess what? That always works. No, again, it's about bringing what you got to bring to the table when you're dealing with somebody. Friendship wise, relationship wise, you have to be able to put down specific things on the table. Again, give a person the option to decide if they're going to still move around you and with you or not. You're not giving them a fair option when you just keep things under wraps. Again, I watched the same couple say, "I'm just looking for this." Well, me too. And from there, it went from just casual to look married with kids, and they still standing strong. Sometimes all it takes is that right type of bond with somebody. Again, everybody is built different. They're gonna think different, and sometimes certain situations going to present themselves in a different light. Key thing to remember is again, your happiness and your mental balance and peace is the most important thing to keep intact. Because if you're not, you're gonna be making all the most careless decisions. You probably gonna make some emotional decisions, and that could backfire. Again, don't let nobody throw no type of negative dark seeds in your brain when it comes to your happiness and how you're moving. Another thing I would say for some of y'all on the relationship tip, if y'all either both doing dirt to each other or if it's one that's doing the dirt, you might as well just be honest. But if you feel like you even gonna come to that conclusion, then you shouldn't be going as far as you think you should be going. Again, you have to be able to trust what's in your spirit. And a lot of times when your gut is telling you something and you know it could be truthful, you have to act on it. Just to get your reassurance. But then again, if somebody's moving the right way and they always reassuring you on things, you shouldn't really have nothing to worry about. I've always felt there's certain decisions that are being made. And some of it, yeah, they are being made out of emotion and impulse. But in some instances, no, it's being made because it's trying to give somebody a clear statement. Because you have people that will tell you that they're unhappy, they want to move on, they want to do something else, and some people won't get the message until somebody has to jump out the window and show you that they're not playing. Like prime example, you'll have some people that try to justify if they cheated. Now, in certain cases, if it is justifiable, which I feel, listen, nobody should be ever cheated on, but if some people are not going to get the gist of what somebody is telling them, if they didn't listen to what was said from Jump Street, I don't know. I still can't justify it. I feel it should never come to that level. But if a person is not really giving you their all and they showing you more than anything, then shoot. Again, sometimes you might have to send a strong message to somebody. Because if somebody's clearly telling you they're unhappy and you still trying to keep them and hold on to them, you're basically stopping them from being free. Some people will tell you right then and there, I don't want to be wrapped up like that. But if you're not listening because you too blind and you too emotionally attached and in love with a person, you're not listening to reason, you're not hearing them out. Some people will tell you off the rip when they even have any type of interaction with you, look, this is what I want and what I don't want. Like again, when you bring something to the table, it's up to the person to decide if they really want to or not. You know? But again, I just always felt like this, to avoid certain heartaches and heartbreaks, you gotta listen to messages and listen to clear reason when it's being presented to you. If you see somebody is not giving you they all like you giving them, you gotta keep it pushing from there. And I have to. Again, because love is not supposed to be hurtful. Love is definitely not supposed to be having you think twice about any movements you have in life. Love is not supposed to make you weak. Love is not supposed to be anything towards violence. Love is what it's supposed to be. Love, building, and growth and unity. You allow specific situations to plague the mind and plague the playing field, you kind of mess yourself up. So again, in that same token, you gotta know what you want, how you gonna go about it, and how you gonna do everything to keep it right. There's no point in building with anybody, period. If again, you know, if they telling you what they want or they telling you how they want it, and you not really agreeing to it, or this is something that you just don't feel comfortable with, again, you have the option to make that decision. Like prime example, if a man is telling you, listen, I just want a friend with benefits, that's up to you to decide if you still gonna go with that motion or not. If a person is telling you they want this, they want to see marriage at some point down the line and yada yada yada, and that's what you feeling, if that's how you want it, then that's when you take it. But again, you still gotta make sure that person is for you. The 702, what's going on, you shadow baby? What's coming out of nowhere, you little shadow hugger? I hope you finish off my album in that studio, man. Stop playing with me, man. And this the thing. In certain situations, cheating has only occurred because, again, people are not hearing each other out. If your partner is really unhappy, you better find a way to make them happy. Because in some instances, some people, that's how they will go. If they not getting the love and whatever they supposed to be getting, they're going to find it some way, somehow. They're going to give you a clear message. And I don't condone it. But in certain situations, I can't get mad in those situations because now look, you didn't want to go that route, but you had to make a clear message to somebody that you've been over with and you want to move on. And they ain't trying to let you move on. You got people that just won't let you move on. And I think that's another problem too sometimes. That's why it's hard to really build and trust even when it comes to a relationship. Because you got some people that really just will be stuck on you and won't let you grow and won't let you go. Listen, I don't care how much you love somebody. If you know right now it's too toxic to even make something work, let it go. If it does come back around, if it was meant to be, like I said, it will happen. We've seen some instances of it. You know, when people are meant to be together, you'll know it. Even if it's not right away, you'll know it. And it will show by the years and the dedication that's put in. You know, the real time and effort. It will show right there. Give me 1 second. I know I'm a 702. I know my fault. I'm catching up with the chat, y'all. But again, to keep it a buck. Some situations I know it didn't really need to go down. But then again, you had to give a clear message to a person that was needing to hear that message. Look, I'm unhappy. I think it's time for us to really do this, do that. And you still not trying to give that person an option. You know, what you think they gonna do? I heard one or two stories where it was like, yeah, I could take my accountability. Yeah, I cheated and I didn't want to cheat. But in the same token, if you're not giving me what I asked for, if you're not respecting my wishes and my boundaries, what else you want me to do? And again, some people have to learn to move on all cylinders. Some people need to move on. You know, if you don't go sit your if you don't go sit your dry tea bag head ass down somewhere, man, go sit your ass down, man. Go smoke your blunt on Thyru, man. Up out of here with that. What's going on, my brother? Shoot. Like I told you next time, Hood, you spill that Henny, bro. You spill whatever you drinking that night, bro. We gonna get you potato water. Everybody in the chat, say it with me now. Potato water. We gonna get this boy some potato water every time you drink and spill that liquor. Play with me, man. But go on back to work and do something with yourself. Again, you have some people who have taken accountability. Yes, I cheated. Yes, it was wrong. But in the same token, you was wrong for trying to hold me back or for not listening to me when I gave you clear indentation that I was unhappy and we need to figure something out. And when you don't get to that point of, and then you just sitting there just letting it go, you're gonna get situations like that. Uncle L, what's going on, my guy? Again, you want to build a better balance. You do. And sometimes I'll be honest with you. A lot of times, instead of going that route, I would say you might as well just tell them, well, if you ain't listening to what I'm saying, I'm giving you an ultimatum. And as much as you don't want to do that sometimes, you're going to have to. Because again, it's about your growth, your mental peace, and your spirit at the end of the day. And you can't be happy with somebody if y'all not even having the time together. You got too many people interfering in your business, so on and so forth. Those things of that nature and certain things you don't really need to bring out anyway. If you are unhappy with the person that you with, you need to speak to them directly and don't speak to everybody else. Because the minute you allow any type of negative interference, especially people who might be on the low, upset and mad because you found some sort of happiness. You got to keep certain things under wraps. There's some things you're not going to be able to bring into the light because, again, if you're that unhappy with somebody, you need to tell them. And if they still not taking heed to what you're saying, if they're not even trying to take that into consideration or even trying their hardest to try to balance something out, there's no need to continuously have that relationship. You're going to have to move on. And again, some of you people need to learn that when somebody tell you it's over, you need to move on. Some people will get to a point of stalking or even really trying to destroy that person's happiness because they don't want nobody else with them. But again, when you had them, you should have been doing what you were supposed to be doing to keep them. So now they decide to move on. They possibly might find some sort of happiness. Don't get mad. You have to find where your happiness lies at. You have to take whatever lesson you learned from that breakup, and then you got to put it into, put it into good use. Whatever you learn, all right, I learned I can't do this. I can't be selfish. I can't be this. I can't. All right, I know the next time around I got something good. I know not to mess it up. So I was always critical to think before you do. And that's what I'm saying. Even if you have to have some sort of couples intervention, because we've seen some of this, especially people that, really knew each other, grew up with each other, and know each other in and out. Sometimes you're going to need that because you're going to have some slight interferences that put a dent or put a little sadness and madness into their life. And again, real friends are going to let you know what's what, and they're going to try to do their best to make sure y'all uplifted. So I already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, it does start with a specific balance. You got to be able to take the good with the bad because not all relationships are going to be perfect. Not all marriages are going to be perfect. You're going to have your little rocky moments, and sometimes you're going to have your sad moments because of specific situations. But you always got to remember there is mostly happiness that you're supposed to be focused on. And if you're happy and comfortable with the lifestyle that you're with, comfortable with whatever's going on, then, your actions will speak louder than its words. And I'm going to say this to some of you men and women out there who, again, are moving irresponsibly, and not getting the picture on this. I just seen something this morning that threw me all the way off. So this is how you know you got to be careful with the person that you choosing to, because that person could honestly be living a double life, and that's real raps. I just watched a video this morning. Somebody had popped in and was demanding to speak to their husband, and come to find out, guy married to both of them. The lady that she popped up at married to the same man. They both married and sharing the same man. This one don't even know that he got a whole 9-year-old daughter with the wife that he been with more than 10 years. And then he got the second wife is so it's like you basically had a time frame with both of them. That's crazy. Riaz, what's going on, my guy? You have people who are living double lives. Like I've always felt that's the most dangerous game to play. Because again, you are playing with people's time and emotions, and that's shit that he can't get back. And I think that sets a bad precedent because again, that shows even towards your kids that you wasn't living right. And again, you have some situations where men have a whole nother family, And vice versa. You have some women that have kids that men don't know about. Or they got kids that they think is theirs and find out is either somebody they cool with, somebody they family with. Let's not forget that part either. Again, that's the illest part about moving irresponsibly because, again, you have to give a person the option to decide if they really going to stay with you or not. And if you ain't bringing nothing for them to stay with you, might as well let them go. And if you claim you love somebody, it should be no reason why you live in a double life anyway. Because again, what does that say and what precedent does it set for your offspring? That the same way you build one family, you could build another family, and you're going to continuously build multiple families. Some of y'all fellas, stop doing that. I'm saying some of y'all. There's not a whole lot of y'all that are doing that, but for those who are moving like that, stop with that double life. If you claim you love somebody, you show them the utmost day in and day out. And if you feel you don't have that same love and compassion like you did with the person that you with, then you move on. You give them that option to move on as well too. If you feel you want to be happy with somebody else, if somebody else has definitely made you happy and made you feel like they really are that person for you, then you still have to give the person you with an opportunity and a chance to deal with that, whether you want to or not. Why live a double life and go through double the hassle, double the headaches, and then you got to keep hiding? And see, that also sets a precedent for your offspring that you ain't going to be truthful to them. You're going to hide everything and try to justify what you're doing. So again, I'm gonna have to ask some of you men and women out there to think before you do. The decisions that you do make, and they do affect people around you, especially those close to you. So always remember that part. But again, I feel if you're not going to bring everything to the light and to the table the way you're supposed to, then you shouldn't be focusing on any type of relationship at all. You should still focus on yourself. If you want to be with somebody who's constantly cheating, then that's your decision. But you know what comes with that decision. It's going to be costly because every time that person does cheat, you're going to keep bringing out more raw emotions. You're going to want to keep playing the eye for an eye tactic. And again, it's not even worth it. If you want to be with somebody that's going to beat on you, then that again, that's your option. But you know what comes with that consequence. And you can't expect everybody to always try to jump in and, you know, be into it. Because at some point, the people who are trying to, make sure that you stay in the float and staying good, they're going to get tired of it. Like, why am I constantly trying to hear your story about this person doing this and doing that? You're not listening to reason when we telling you you should have been moved on. After a while, people get tired and they let you find out yourself. And I feel this talk was needed today too, on all angles. Again, even when it comes down to friendships and real, close partnerships on any level, you got to be mindful of who you bringing into your life. Because some people might say they for you, but their actions are going to speak louder. Like when I say I'm for the people that been here building and growing, I'm for them. And I show them every other day. Even if it's not every day, I show them every other day in more than one way that I do appreciate and love everybody that has been building. And all of them that have been keeping it above with me, they say it every day. Love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And that's what inspires me to keep bringing what I'm bringing. It doesn't matter what conversation I'm bringing some sort of moral balance and peace that's needed. And some sort of thinking process that is also needed because a lot of you are not thinking clear. You are thinking more emotional than logical. That's why I'm going to always be able to break down something No doubt, bro. You already know what it is, bro. And have a good one at work, man. Um, me when I chop it up with the morning people, I don't be caring how long I be on. But I always gotta just, bring you some sort of words of encouragement and just bring something that's real. And again, I think that's the realest thing I heard today and seen today. For a person to come and say I'm looking for such and such, and you can't be looking for this person because I'm married to this person, and then come to find out he living a double life. You don't even know he got a 9-year-old daughter, and you might have a family with him too as well. So again, some of you people are living and doing the utmost. Stop living a double life. That double life is going to catch up to you one way or another. And guess what? It never ends up real good. Because now you got to eat that. And you got to realize at the end of the day, you kind of messed up a balance for anybody. And you don't know how some people are going to react when they find out something that damaging about somebody that they love. Somebody that they supposed to be building with on all levels. Friendship, whatever. You got to be real with the people. If you can't be real with yourself, you can't be real with the people, and the people can't accept you. And some people ain't going to accept you. Because again, you allowed something like that to take you above and beyond when you could have just been honest with somebody from Jump Street. Don't just take my word for it. There have been stories out where people have found out the most hideous and the most horrific things about people that they was loving. Like what I was saying some lives back ago about the lady finding out that the husband she been married to for over 15 years was a whole creep. Now, of course, she wouldn't have spotted it because, again, blindly in love with somebody that, in your eyes, is doing everything they supposed to be doing as a husband. But then when you find out they've been recording every little movements, not just that you're making, but your kids is making, that's a stern problem right there. Stern problem right there. And it really is. Again, you got to be mindful of who you dealing with. And sometimes you got to be able to read when certain signals are just presenting themselves. And if you feel something is wrong, again, you are supposed to follow your logic and your instinct. And if it's telling you to assess a situation, assess it the right way. Supposed to. Because again, your happiness and your peace of mind is the most important thing in any type of relationship or any type of build. You can't build with somebody if they ain't trying to listen to anything or not trying to accept any type of real constructive advice. Again, you gotta, be real with yourself and be real with the people that's at hand. No, because again, what does it really say about your character in the long run? You leading a double life. At some point, it catches up, and when it does, again, it hurts. It hurts not just you, because at some point you are going to feel it, but it's going to hurt the people that you involved in it. And think about it: some of these people don't tolerate, and they can't tolerate something like that that's crushing their world. Some people will actually make an irrational decision just because of that. Look how many people have lost their lives or damn near lost their lives because they played with somebody's heart to a point where they snapped and they found out something from somebody else or they found out something on their own accord by catching it. Again, be mindful of what you're doing. Because some people really do love hard and they love deep. And the minute that you crush that, you know, it's all out the window after that. Sorry, it is. And at some point, if you done already made a stern decision and you done had kids in the mix of everything, and now you just gonna have to do what's best and do what's necessary. Now, I've always felt certain situations are worse when, again, there's kids involved. Because again, you are supposed to be protecting them at all costs, and that even means protecting them from, you know, irresponsibilities and just ill-fated things of that nature. Again, just get back to the knowledgeable things that's needed. You know, do what's necessary and don't play with people's hearts and don't play with people's time. Those are two things you can't get back at some point. Some people ain't gonna regain their heart because they gonna feel they can't trust nobody because they've been wrong. And again, you don't know some of these people, even if that is their first real interaction of love and whatever, you fuck up that balance. There's nothing you can say outside of that parameter when they lose their mind on something. Marlene, what's going on, baby? Again, I feel like this. If you can't really dictate to anybody on what's what. What you can do is try to give them good advice and a good stern advice. And that stern advice should be, if you're not prepared for everything that comes with a double life, don't live it. But if you are going to do that, you got to be prepared for what comes along with it. And just know it's not going to be an easy road to really come back from. Because again, now it'll get to a point where if the word gets out all around, some people just ain't going to trust you. And some people going to already know, nah, I ain't dealing with you. Because the same way you dealing with me, you probably gonna want to deal with one of my friends, or you gonna want to do one of this. We're not doing that. I'm good, Marlene. Trying to find some shade right now. It's crazy how it rained all from last night after I ended my live with y'all again. This is the second time. Well, no, I lie. Last night it actually rained before I started the live, but it rained the whole night and it rained part of the morning. You think it'd have been at least somewhat cool? Hell no. It's hotter than Jack in the Box, a snack box. Dead serious. It's hot right now. But I always gotta rise and shine and wake and bake with the people. You know me. You know, different form of conversation, but yet and still the same conversation to some people. So it is what it is. Um, but again, you can't take that and think that that's the way you can move. Because again, what example do you set? Especially if you got offspring that's involved in this. You're gonna basically essentially say, if you want a relationship, even if you love more than one person, you can still be with both of them and make something work. You got to choose who you love. I can have love for people, but as far as being in love with somebody and as far as actually building with that person, I got to be real with one person. I can't be real with multiple people. Riaz, I'm gonna tell you this right now. What do I think about it? Now I'm gonna tell you that in all circumstances, unless you really financially prepared to take on those responsibilities, and if those women are all in agreement to it, then hey, you do what you see fit. But I can tell you this right now, you're gonna have more of the headaches because if you got four wives, and prime example, those four wives produce more than four kids, that's a lot of damn kids you're gonna have to deal with. Even down to trying to get down to a college level, you want to bring your kids to college, you want to do certain build their future. That's too much to do. Again, I'm gonna just tell you this, like, some people, it's a custom in they traditions to have that many. But then again, that don't necessarily mean that's the best option too. Again, you are supposed to be tied to one person as far as building and growing a family. That's how I've always believed it. That's just my opinion. You out in the world, you doing whatever you want to single today. You can single and mingle and do all you want to do. But in that same token, be safe and sound. But if you building with somebody and you trying to really be with that person, you have to show that person that that's what you're willing to do. I'm willing to I'm willing to fight God Himself if that's the case, just to make sure that you're happy and that we're happy. That's how it has to be. And that's what I'm saying. Some people again in they customs and they traditions, that's normal to have at least more than one wife. See, I don't really go by certain customs and traditions. Like, just I've always felt like this: you're tied into one person. That one person completes your other half. You're only a half of a person because you know you're trying to find who not so much as compliments you, but who really fits you, who resonates with you, who is ready, willing, and able to do anything at any cost to keep and preserve what happiness they have and what balance they have. And if you do find that person, you should be doing your best to make sure you keep them. And if you messed up the ball, you dropped the ball, and now it's to a point where that person wants to move on, you have to kindly let them move on. And when you say, all right, if that's the case, then, I guess then that's what it should mean. Move on. You know, I shouldn't have to stalk you. I shouldn't have to play petty games or none of that. Shouldn't have to do none of the sort. Give me 1 second, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. No, my bad, y'all. I had a call from my HR rep. My bad. Uh, but again, you got to think about everything, you know, and I mean really think about it. There's some things you're gonna be tied to. You're gonna be tied to somebody who completes you in more than one different way. You want to be tied to people as far as friends who really have your back and uplift you and try to keep you at the highest level. You don't necessarily tie yourself with, drama and things of that nature. And again, you know, I'm gonna say this one more again. If you ain't prepared for the consequences of living a double life, don't do it to yourself. If you say you actually love somebody and care for somebody, you show them and you do the best you possibly can do. One thing to remember too is you can't change who somebody is. If you want to love and respect and build with somebody, you gotta accept their flaws, their perfectness, and everything. You gotta accept everything. You gotta accept their strengths and weaknesses like they would accept yours. But you gotta remember too, y'all gotta remember to come together and build at the most important moments. If either one of you are unhappy in certain situations or both of you are unhappy, you have to sit down and have an actual talk. And again, don't bring in the wrong type of elements to try to help mediate something. A lot of times you just gotta look your partner in the eye and tell them exactly what's going on. And if your partner is really in tune with you, they'll know how to move and react from there. So again, you just take that into a strong consideration. But I feel this was a good talk this morning. And I hope some people did get the message on what was being said. Um, be real with yourself, and you could be real with the people, and that's real rap. Don't take on any unnecessary drama and responsibilities that's not needed. And if you feel that person is not meeting your expectation in any way, shape, or form, you have to let them know. You have to let them know. And if they're not going to listen to anything that you're saying, if they're not going to try to help better the situation, you have an obligation to either still stay or leave. And if you decide to leave, you better find what you need and make sure that the next time around, that person is on point with you. But don't let one bad experience, and I can say that for anybody, even if you're just in the dating field, don't let one bad experience tarnish anything. One thing I've always said about the dating game is that, it's fickle. And it really is. It's fickle because you don't know what you're really going to expect and what you're going to come across. But in the same token, you don't let it mess you up and mess up your decision in life. And that's my thing. Your word, what's going on, my guy? Again, I've always felt this way, and I'm gonna continue to bat this in them head. When you are truly happy with somebody, you don't let no type of negative thought or negative indentation mess up your balance and your happiness. And if you ain't happy and balanced in more than one way, you have to let it be known. And if you're gonna just sit there and suffer in silence, you can't really blame nobody else but yourself at some point. You have some people who really know they're unhappy and they won't say nothing because they feel at some point that person is going to realize that they're unhappy. And no, people are not mind readers. Some people honestly will know something is going on and don't care. They probably are waiting for you to say something. Frugal Mama, what's going on, baby? But again, you just, you got to take every pinch of sweet and sour. And a lot of times, you just got to balance it out to where it's needed to be balanced at. If you feel you're not being presented in the best light, especially with somebody that you're trying to build with, and you need to find somebody that will present you in the best light and actually show you better than they could tell you. And again, for those who think is actually doable, if you think it's doable, then by all means. But just know what comes with all of that. You trying to have more than one wife and you living a double life, That's more headaches and double the burden you got to bear, because now if you got kids involved on both ends, especially if they don't even know about each other, that's a problem right there too. Again, think before you do. It's critical at this time junction now, more than ever, to think before you do. Couldn't have said it no clearer today. And this was a different type of topic. Why? Because again, we see a lot of reasons why some relationships are going to the bad, why some people are really having, hard times trusting, and why they have hard times building amongst anything. We have a little bit of everything that's always throwing their hand in things. So again, gotta be able to be mentally strong and fill out what you need to fill out. And if you honestly feel you can't trust a specific situation, you still have an option. And your option should be as is. You're either gonna move away from it or you're gonna continue to accept it. If you continue to accept it, you can't blame nobody else for your misery or your unhappiness. Tell you that real rap. Again, it starts with loving yourself, building yourself, and just, standing strong with whatever you're strong with. And a lot of people need to live in their truth. Some people feel they not being looked at or accepted because they gotta be somebody else. I just had one of my own girls, and I'm surprised she even asked me this, but this is how I know for a fact to some degree, you know, you're one of the people I speak about. You know, they don't know what to expect because they feel they have to put on a persona. They feel they have to be something outside of themselves. If the people can't accept you for who you are, any level, then it's no need for you to even bat a second eye at it. I'm sorry, and that's just real rap. Some people got to be able to accept you again, flaws and all. People can't do that, then there's no need to even move in that direction. And I'm just keeping the buck right now. You have to come to a realization that there's just some things, you know, it's not always gonna go your way. I'm a firm believer and a stern believer in beggars can't be choosers. And some people are begging for that type of love and everything. But then when you get it, some of y'all don't know how to receive it because it's not what you thought you was gonna get. You're not gonna always get what you want in life. But when you do get something that's blessed and bountiful, you need to hold on to that blessing. Point blank, period. But I feel like these conversations, even along these lines, will continue to happen because, again, you're not going to wake up everybody in one motion. But you can give the best balance that you can, especially for those who are just getting into that field of dating, whether they young or old. You know what you want, you know what you set out to get, but yet in the same token, don't mess yourself up. If something does come to you, even if it's not what you really wanted, but it's something that's definitely going to be good and beneficial for you, you better hold on to that. And hold on to that because you actually love and care for that person like they love and care for you. If they're showing you more than anybody else would have showed you, that's a sign that that could be that person for you. You definitely need to get on board with that. But still, in the same token, be safe. Because some people you might come across, they might put on a persona, and then they true actions and they true personality will speak out. And again, there's some things that are just sacred. Like marriage is supposed to be sacred. If you're gonna be married, you gotta be married to somebody that's willing to commit to you like you're committing to them. And you gotta be getting married for the right reasons. Not just because you feel that's the best way to keep somebody or that's the best way to keep a relationship afloat, whether you got kids involved or not. Marriage is something sacred. That means until death. But yet I digress though. Good conversation as always. And I'm gonna continuously bring these type of convos. Don't matter what we speaking on, we're gonna be speaking on something. Know that much. But again, don't compromise your peace and your happiness and your moral integrity for people that's not gonna do the same thing for you. You know, don't allow the wrong people to steal your energy, to steal your precious time and your peace of mind. Because in the long run, your peace of mind is going to come in handy at some point, and you're going to definitely need to be in tune. Some people have made irrash decisions again because you know they've been given false hope. Like I can say, some people have gotten rid of good people because they went by what's being governed in law. Riders, what's going on, baby? Like in certain instances, by you accepting the help from the government, you was essentially saying that the man was no longer needed in more than one way. We gonna give you everything that this man is supposed to be giving you, and in the same token, we gonna make him feel inadequate, and we gonna definitely make it be known that he's useless. So some people have only done that because of those situations. If a man is not providing for you the things they supposed to be providing for you, get that government help. That's essentially what happens. Some instances, some people only looked at it as that's a come up. I don't really need you for nothing. But I've always felt like this: when two people create and bring something into the world, you have to put your own differences aside and focus on the mindset of that person you brought into the world. I do believe in that, though. Again, be wise and be smart, and that's on both ends. You know you're not trying to have a situation where there's a 9 months later. You need to prepare and prepare yourself in the best light. Man, definitely was a good talking conversation today. For those who might have been coming in late, yeah, you can catch that replay. I need to start figuring out lunch as always. About that time. I've been out all morning. Took my necessary walk for the day. Getting back to that basics, that morning walk and talk with y'all. So, but I also want to say this to the person at hand. I'm always going to bring something to the table. Something you like, something you don't like. It don't matter. But again, I'm gonna be living rent free in your mind until further notice. So I hope you enjoyed the show too. If you out of your coma by now, hope you enjoyed the show. Um, told you I'm always gonna be hump day petty when I feel like it. So let me again hump your mind. I'm gonna bring whatever conversation that's needed, especially when there's morality involved and when there's something else that needs to be involved. You know, people are playing around with deadly situations, and when you play with somebody's heart, that's a real deadly situation. Why? Because again, you don't know how that person is wired. You don't know how that person is going to feel when they find out the real truth, and it could be costly. So again, think before you do. Because not everybody's going to have that strong emotional stability to not jump off the deep end. Forget about that part. You know, again, if you want to move a certain way, take accountability in how you move. And if you still feel you're going to move a impulsive way and not the right way, then be prepared for all the things that come with it. Kid you not. Angel, I know that part, trust me. I know it's kind of imbalanced because of the way things are. And honestly, you know, you shouldn't want to be super, super old neither having kids because you ain't going to be able to do as much as you want to do. Unless you really, like I said, fit and healthy on all angles. You know, your time while you are here is to build, grow, grow a family, live happily, and when you close your eyes for good, know that you've done something and brought something to the world, that you left your legacy here. That's what people fail to realize. That legacy is more than anything. And when you're not putting the right things into that legacy of yours or the legacy that you're trying to build, it'll fall apart. It's just something to think about, y'all. Definitely ain't gonna hold y'all much longer. Try to, you know what? It's too hot to cook again. I think I'm gonna order something out. I'm gonna order out. It's either gonna be pizza or wings. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Um, I definitely will be back on the backup channel. I'm gonna bring some music, lift some spirits. Could possibly have an open panel tonight. And if I do, it's gonna be a little earlier, only because I gotta be to work early tonight, but not super early. So it's always good waking up, talking with the people, and bringing something and shedding something on light. You know, that's what we gotta do: shed light on the right things. That's what we're gonna continuously do. So definitely was a good one. Um, I'll definitely see y'all, like I said, in a little bit. See y'all on the backup. Bring some music for everybody, and I'll definitely be back with that open pen. It's always good to have a good feeling of, you know, strong, strong connection and building amongst the people. Some people think that you could do everything in life by yourself. There's some things in life you're not going to be able to do by yourself. And in certain instances, you're going to have to find somebody that's for you so you could build strong. Because you could be good by yourself, but if you with somebody else and it's the right person, oh, the opportunities is all over the place. The opportunities will definitely, present itself. But I'll definitely be back on the backup. Um, Definitely always a good time talking with y'all. Stop procrastinating to figure out this lunch. Um, Give or take, I'll probably start this around 5 o'clock. So put your dance shoes on and all of that. And we definitely gonna rock out. Um, Angel, I'm gonna hit you on the back end in a minute. That's if you're not busy. But yeah, all in all, we're gonna always bring something that's beneficial. The world will continuously see that, whether the haters like it or not. Definitely be back with the vibes later. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game.
Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, you already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real builds. And like I said, get your dance shoes ready. About 5:30, I should be ready. And open panel will definitely be a little earlier. If not, I'll set it for a certain time. Y'all always more than pop. You're always more than welcome to pop in on the convo. No doubt, Harry. Appreciate you, bro. Gonna have to catch that replay, my guy. Like I said, I'll definitely be back on the backup later and gonna have them good tunes and them good tuned in. So y'all definitely enjoy yourselves, stay safe, keep that third eye open. Oh yeah, also keep yourselves cool if you're out in the heat like I am. But definitely make sure you keeping your health intact. Stay safe, keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.